I'm going to work on cleaning up my axe today. I've been cleaning up my garden tools and putting some linseed oil on the handles and everything before winter. And this axe, I probably have had this thing 30 years or so. I bought it back in the early 1990s at one of the big box stores. I don't know who made it. There's no markings on the head. There was a bunch of stickers on it. They fell off a long time ago. I mean, it's probably True Temper or Ames, I'm guessing, but it's a Michigan style head. I'm just going to clean it up. It could be sharpened, and it's got one of those crappy board flat sided handles on it. You know, when you need an axe, you just buy what you can get, and that's pretty much what I did with this. It's what I could get a hold of at the time, and I couldn't tell you the last time I used it. I really don't know. It's been a while. Probably the last time I used it, I had a big limb fall out of one of my trees on top of my house, and I probably used it then. And that's been some time ago, so I really don't know exactly when I used it last. But I will say that it will take and hold a pretty good edge. Now that it will do. Now I actually have some numbers and stuff up here on the top of them. And never really noticed those before, but yeah, it could stand to be sharpened too. It looks pretty rugged. Yeah, I mean it's yeah, maybe I can figure out who made the darn thing too eventually. I really don't know who made it. Now I'm going to take my old kitchen knife, see if I can scrape some of this lacquer off this thing. Okay, now I got all the finish scraped off of this thing, and I sanded it down. I'm just going to put some linseed oil on it now. Now it's still flat. I was able to round this off right in here. There was like a, and it does feel better. I mean, it's still flat, but it does feel, it feels better in the hand, and it certainly be a little more comfortable. Now, I will have to say, I don't even know the last time I used this thing. I really don't know when I used it last. And I'll find it a better home. It's just been sitting with the garden tools, just kind of sitting piled up with everything else. I cleaned up the head some, but I'm not going to do any more than that. And I will sharpen it. I don't know when it was sharpened last. It's just not something I use. I mean, the last few times I've had to cut up some branches or something that fell out of the trees. I used a chainsaw. I didn't have any use for an axe when I was doing that. And once I get it sharp, maybe I'll go ahead. I got some leather. I'll make a mask for the blade to protect it. At least if I have to use it after I sharpen it, but take care of it a little better. At least it'll be sharp. But getting rid of all that nasty lacquer off the handle looks better. Now, I have another axe, and I haven't used it either. And I have a couple I need to hang. I have a boy's axe, and I also have an old True Temper Kelly Perfect, and I need to get those rehung and put them up. They've been laying over here on my workbench forever now. Alright, that's about all I'm going to do to that for right now. I'll just let it sit here and see how much of this soaks up. Yeah, I may need to put a few coats on it to get it good, but that's okay. Okay, and I'm going to finish up on my axe here now. I ended up putting about 3 or 4 coats of linseed oil on the handle or the haft, whichever one you want to call it. I cleaned up the head. I didn't try to polish it or anything like that. I just cleaned it up. And I also sharpened it. Now it's got a pretty good edge on it right now. And yeah, I'll keep it. And I'm not going to put it back over with the rest of the garden tools. It was just sitting over there with the rakes and the shovels and things. I'll find some place to put it where it'll be kind of safe. And I also made a mask for it. Protect the blade, protect my fingers and stuff from getting cut. And it did get a pretty good edge on it. This, you know, I remember this thing used to take a pretty good edge. Well, that kind of finishes up. I still don't know who made this thing. I'm guessing it was either True Temper or Ames. Who knows? And it doesn't really matter. It does the job, and I know I used to abuse this thing when I used it a long time ago. I mean, it's seen a lot of hard use, and it's held up pretty good, even though it's a cheap axe.